My name's James Rodler. I'm the subject area manager for maths at Selby College. I'm joined by Ian King, who's one of the 5 specific maths tutors. He's an A-level maths and further maths tutor at the college. And hopefully we'll be able to answer any questions that you've got this morning. I'm going to give you a short presentation first, where we lay out most of the facts about the different maths courses that we offer. And then if at any point you think of a question that doesn't seem to be being answered, please do just type it straight into the chat. And then we'll be monitoring the chat between the two of us, and at the end of the session there'll be a time to ask questions and give answers, and hopefully we can cover everything that you need to know. If at the end there's still something that you need to find out, please do ask, because we will be able to look into that and get back to you personally later on. Or if we don't know the answer, we will be able to put you in touch with somebody that does. Okay, so just finally, one more welcome to those people that have just come in over the last 30 seconds or so. So welcome to Maths. We'll start our presentation now. Obviously it's a bit strange not actually being on site and being able to welcome you into our maths rooms. We've got an excellent suite of facilities in maths. We've got 3 bespoke classrooms that are laid out in such a way that to be conducive to maths teaching. Obviously things are a little bit different at the moment. We've got dedicated and really friendly staff. They're experienced staff as well across the board, people that have been teaching for between several years and really too many years to remember. But what that means is that each and every member of staff has got a good idea of what good looks like. So we can have high expectations of students from day one. And sometimes when you start out on your A-level or further education studies, you don't know quite how hard to be working and quite how much effort to be putting in. So it's good to be surrounded by experienced people that are able to say, yes, you're doing well, you've made a good start, or you need to make a little bit more work in this particular area. And the students do benefit from that experience. We've got outstanding outcomes over the last 4 or 5 years. For our learners. They go off to do brilliant things. A lot of them go straight into top universities, but also into direct employment, and we've had people go on to apprenticeships and things as well, which we'll cover in a second. There's two or three different course routes for learners that are interested in maths. So what we'll aim to do in this presentation is just lay those out for you so that you've got a good understanding of what your choices are if you want to study maths beyond GCSE. Okay. So firstly, before we talk about the courses themselves, just mention our pass rate for the summer was 100%, but has been 100% or 99.5% for the last 5 years. We've got really good evidence on that, and if you'd like to know more about pass rates and grades and things like that, we can give you more information if you're specifically interested in what happened to particular students, obviously without mentioning any names. Thinking back over the last few years, I've made this a short list of places that people have gone to over the last year and the year before. However, we could have put a list of 40, 50, 60, or even 70 over the last 2 years, where students went, and they would have all looked like this short list. We've got a really good level of our students are well equipped with skills. They're able to fulfill the UCAS requirements to get onto top courses at top universities, as you can see from the ones that are there. It's not everybody that's going on to study maths. We have people that are very interested in computing, very interested in science, and very interested in sort of human sciences, and also some geography students that have gone off and done that. But because maths is a facilitating subject, it adds value, it adds skills to a student that wants to go and study in any area. So I'm going to hand over to Ian, our A-level maths and further maths, one of our A-level maths and further maths tutors, just to talk you through what those courses involve now.
Hi everyone, my name is Ian and I teach both A-level maths and further maths. And if you really enjoy, as a student, the challenge of problem solving, or you just want to take on maths because you want to support your other subject, then A-level maths is the perfect subject for you. The sort of things that you'll do in your maths is you'll study pure, statistics and mechanics. Now, the pure element allows you to do the algebraic skills that you require, but mechanics will support the physics subjects if you're doing that. However, statistics will support biology, geography, psychology. It involves a lot of probability, data analysis, hypothesis testing, whereas the mechanics will look at forces, projectiles. It will cover all of the skills that are required, not only to develop yourself in maths, but also any subjects that you're doing. So if we have a look at the further maths, now the further maths will just extend those. So if you really want to go and do a maths degree or move on to an engineering degree at the top level universities, the further maths is the option which will allow you to take everything that you're doing in mechanics, in statistics and in pure to gain further skills in algebraic manipulation, to really look at how you can take statistical analysis to help support any job or any degree that you go on to.
So one thing that I just would add on the maths and further maths is that you either take maths or you take maths and further maths as two of your A-level choices. Your third option would be to look at studying core maths, and its long title is actually Level 3 Certificate in Mathematical Studies - Core Maths. So it's a bit of a mouthful. Core Maths is a course that was designed in the last 5 years, and it's deliberately been constructed to fill a gap. Internationally, far more students than in the UK continue with mathematical study post-16. And that was seen as a bit of a weakness, both by employers and by universities that would want a higher level of skill than that you get from GCSE. So this is a level 3 course over 1 year. You just have 2 lessons a week and possibly 1 to 2 hours of homework on top of that a week. It gains UCAS points at 40% of an A-level, but the great thing about it is that you've completed your studies in core maths after the first year, and that means that you can focus all your efforts on the 3 remaining A-level subjects. Core maths is also suitable for those students wanting to do a level 3 certificate in a vocational area, and we've got vocational courses, people on the core maths from things like computing, from sport, and particularly from science, and a couple of engineers as well. So it's quite a large course. There's about 50 or 60 people on that each year, and it really does fill that gap for those people that don't want to do a full A-level in maths. They don't particularly have a huge passion for maths, but they are looking to go forward and go into a profession or study a course where they need a higher level maths than GCSE. So that's the one that's possibly not understood quite as much. And if you'd like to ask anything else about that, then obviously do put that in the chat. Those are the things that we've sort of pre-prepared about our maths courses on the A-level maths side, the further maths and the core maths. If you've got any questions at all, you can just type them straight into the chat function, and we'll try and answer those now. If there aren't any particularly, we do have a bank of questions that we regularly get asked in the slightly less strange environment of actually being in a classroom on the open events, and we'll answer some of those questions if there isn't anything from the floor. But if anybody's got anything they'd like to ask, if you could pop that in now, that would be great. Okay, so I've got one question in the chat from Beth. Hi, Beth. What careers can I go on into from maths? So if I'm gonna let Ian field that one. What careers can we get into from maths?
Thanks, James. Well, as I went on to do a maths degree, because I had no idea what I wanted to study, what I wanted to go into, what career I wanted to do. that allowed me to get to do a degree in maths. Now, once I had that degree in maths, I did a 4-year course, as I'd never turned on a PC and I'd never used the window key. And in my year out, I went to ICI, where I took on computing. Now, it gave me the skills to be able to do any job that was offered on, and I actually became the Lotus administrator for ICI in that year, above the IT students who were at the local university. I then used those skills later on to apply for a nuclear physicist job, which I got, but I decided that I prefer to go into finance. And finance is an amazing job, which I really enjoyed as a sort of actuarial advisor. But before becoming an actuarial advisor and then going into teaching later on, I also went into doing some IT management jobs, which I secured. So it just opens up a whole array of management courses that you can go on. So having maths just gives you that problem solving where you can go into basically any course or any management course as a graduate.
Yeah, so if I can I'll just follow up on that a little bit. Obviously Ian's done several jobs there. The thing that employers are really looking for from a maths A level and even a maths degree is the transferable skills that you get. So obviously you get a lot of high level of numerical skill, high level of algebraic skill, but there's all sorts of things to do with providing a logical argument. So actually, even to get onto a course like a law degree, maths is a really sought after facilitating thing for that because of the level of the proof and things like that you look through. So that sort of producing a logical argument, that is a core skill that employers look for. And typically, those people that have got an A level in maths will earn on average 10% more in their careers than people that are finishing the same A level courses but without the A level in maths. And those people that finish on with a further maths, it can be as much as 25% over their career with the most recent statistics that we've got. I've got another question that's come up in the chat. Would I need to buy any textbooks for this course? And the answer is no. However, that we do have a course textbook both for the first year and the second year, and it's beneficial to have it. However, we're able to provide it free of charge as part of the course as an online book, and you get that to use throughout. The online book doesn't work brilliantly. It doesn't work through a phone. It would work through a laptop or a desktop PC, and an iPad or tablet, but it doesn't work through a phone. And for that reason, a lot of students still choose to buy the book as well. And the book for the first year and the second year, they're both about £25. So you're talking about a £50 outlay over the duration of the course. We have got, though, quite a lot now of online resources. Everything that you'll need to see will be provided either in a paper pack that will also be backed up on our Google Classroom, and you can be able to, and that you can access all that stuff through your phone. And we're also subscribed for every member of the maths courses onto a website called Integral, which has a complete course which covers every aspect of the A level and the further maths, and has resources on there, assessments that you can test yourself and see where you're up to and whether you're meeting the standards or not. It's got links to videos and a whole package. So there's several different things. So it would be perfectly possible to cope through your course without the book. I'm just saying a lot of students still choose to have that paper-based one. They just find it easier to manage. Okay. One other thing, just I'm not sure we've particularly covered exactly what lessons themselves might look like. Obviously, things are a little bit different at the moment. But Ian, if you could just talk us through what a normal class looks like at A level, how big would the class be? How many students? What sorts of activities might you be doing?
Well, the class sizes are usually between sort of 15 and going up to a maximum of 20, but we usually try to keep class sizes at the sort of 15 sort of average. We have students in groups of 4 usually at the moment. Because of the COVID situation, we are just having students a little bit more spread out, but still been able to be bubbled together, working together. So we're still having our matching exercises, which allow students to discuss with each other and again do problem solving. A lot of the subject that's taught within those further maths groups is to get everyone trying to get the concepts, trying to understand what's happening. So there's a lot of whiteboard work so that we can actually see each student and can follow who needs extensions. So the groups are a sort of mix between some who are doing further maths and some who are just doing normal maths. And what we'll try to do is have those extension tasks up for the further mathematicians and for those who are going for the higher grades, so that all students can access those challenging extra stretch questions and can see the feedback from other students, as well as having groups who may need a little bit more support, especially with some of the things that have happened where they may have missed some of the content. What we do is in our lessons, we ensure that we cover again all of the things that we have done in GCSE, building everybody up to a grade 9, covering all those different skills that are required. But it's done in a supportive way, rather than having in a school where you have 30 in a class and much smaller class sizes, so that we can get that support to everybody and ensure that everyone succeeds at whichever level they are.
Yeah, I've got 18 students currently in my first year A-level class. That's a big class for us. It often can be sort of 12 to 14. In my second year class, the ones it was slightly smaller to start with, and I'm now teaching 11 students in my second year A-level class, just to give you a bit of an idea. The other thing that we're really often at, and I think it's really important at the moment, is what prior knowledge do I need for these different courses? How could I be getting myself ready? And obviously, we would hope that everybody would be working really hard in year 11 and making sure that they get the best GCSEs they can. But it can be still very difficult to know whether you should be choosing to just take maths, or take maths and further maths if you're a very good student performing at grade 8 or 9. And I think what we've tried to do is, in the way that we've structured our further maths courses, unusually for Selby, in further maths, you do actually take the AS exam at the end of the first year, and that's so that it takes the pressure off slightly of that decision. We make sure that everybody takes further maths. If they're going to do it, they do it as a 4th subject, so that they have always got the capacity, if they need to drop it if it turns out to not be the right thing for them. Obviously, you don't know what you don't know when you start a course, so you're looking forward and thinking, well, it looks very interesting. Is it the right level? Can I do it? And doing that AS means that you can do a year of it, still get a qualification, and then drop it if necessary. What we find actually is that 80–90% of students do carry on and keep it for the second year as well, and have made a good choice. But it just takes the pressure off that decision early in some ways. The other thing is just generally, what can you be doing to get ready? And I'm going to offer that over to Ian, just to explain to you exactly what we did this summer in getting our students ready, and what the plan is for next year.
Right, well, what we tried to get for our year 11s that were coming up was to do a Head Start programme. Now, that Head Start programme offered 2 sort of phases. One was to have some really difficult problem solving skills for them to really tackle and see the type of questions that they're going to be up against in A-level. But then there was also a lot of support there so that students could gain some skills on doing surds and indices, looking at how they use algebraic manipulation, because the key aspect of doing well in the A-level is to have that starting point when you first start, that you're able to expand and factorize and do all the standard algebraic manipulation that's needed, and in that way you don't find there's a massive jump up. So if you follow our Head Start program, we also offer support as tutors as you're doing that Head Start program, giving you feedback and helping you to make that jump between GCSE and A-level.
So in the summer, assuming that everything goes to the current plan, and I don't think that's by any means a foregone conclusion, but assuming that you take your exams something like normal with the slight delay that they're talking about, the Head Start materials would kick in and be available to you in a sort of low key, low pressure way from the date of the your final exam, and they'd be that to do either through the summer, or sometimes what you find is that college starts slightly later, maybe a week or a week and a half later than schools. So in that week before you come back, you've got stuff to be getting on with and getting ready for those first few lessons to make sure that you hit the ground with your feet running, as it were. We're going to be closing this live stream in about 4 minutes time at 25 past. So if you have got any last individual questions, if you put those in the chat now, we'll absolutely make sure that we cover anything that you're wanting to know. Okay, there's nothing specifically springing up, I don't think. So what we'll do is just cover a final thing of what if things don't go quite to plan for you in the summer. Obviously, everybody at this point is planning on working really hard through year 11 and doing the best they possibly can in their GCSEs. So what would happen if you didn't quite get the grade that you were hoping for? So thinking about the summer, further maths, our entry requirement is a grade 8. For A-level maths, our entry requirement is a grade 6. But what I would say is we'd really expect somebody that's thinking about doing A-level maths to at least be predicted a 7. And then if you have a bad day and you drop down to a 6, then you'll still be okay, and you'll still be able to access the course. And as Ian said, because of that first half term of loads of supportive things that overlap with GCSE, that will get you back up to the right level. However, what I would say is if you're at this point, you're being predicted a 6 and you actually don't think you can do better than that, and it would be a 6 on a good day, then you should really be thinking twice, not just about Selby College, but wherever, about whether A-level maths is actually the right way to go. Core maths for me really fits the gap of those students that would be on a 5 or a 6, and that would be still an excellent qualification to get on top of those 3 A-levels. I've got just a question from Charlotte following up on that feeling like you predicted a 7, but sometimes your maths you go at a slow pace. And I would say you would probably be fine, actually. We don't race through things so quickly and move on really fast so that you can't keep up. In any one session, we probably look at things 3, 4, 5 different ways, and if one bit of it you're going a bit slow on, there'll be something else that you can catch up and still get the understanding in. And actually, maths isn't something where you need to be herring through all the questions. It's sometimes better to be methodical and make sure that what you do write down is the correct information. So I'd certainly encourage you to apply. And if you need more advice on an individual level, we're happy to meet up either over a video chat or invite you into college, and we'll chat it through with you, Charlotte. So hopefully that helps. But I would still go for it. If your teacher's saying that you predicted a 7, you should be fine. Okay. Right, great. So we're just ticking up to 25 past. So in order to let you potentially log off and get onto the next part of your meeting this morning and see another subject, we'll leave it there. So thanks ever so much, everybody, for joining us this morning. Hopefully you've heard everything that you need to about maths, and we look forward to hopefully other staff will see you on other parts of the virtual online this morning. If you've still got questions, please do use those details on the screen to contact either reception or just email through with any course queries, and that will get put back through to us, and you'll be able to find out anything that you need to. So I'll just leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see you again, either online or actually in college on site would be lovely very soon. Thanks. Goodbye.